All right, guys, we are going to rock this interview with someone who's been shaking up the sports supplement and fitness industry by storm with his rippled up abs, crazy next level physique, and his motivating Magnum mental muscle. 11 years ago, this guy started a company called Magnum. Now it's the fastest growing sports supplement company in the world, where they make the best supplements on earth, all scientifically formulated with pharmaceutical ingredients that create real results. He is the only president of a sports supplement company that practices what he preaches by supporting one of the best physiques in the industry, drug-free. You'll see many fitness magazines in either Magnum product ads or writing result-pumping articles and, of course, hitting those power poses on those magazine covers. He embodies true integrity in all he does as a faith-focused man, creating a real difference in the world with Magnum. I am pumped to introduce my dear friend, Markus El Presidente Kaulius.
Wow, that was an intro if I've ever heard one. I'm flattered. I don't know if I deserve these wonderful words, but thank you, Matthew. I couldn't be more excited to be here.
Well, Markus, it's really great to have you back on. You are the first actual interview ever released in the Peak Mindset Show. The most downloads we've had out of 45 episodes, and people are still downloading it to this day.
Wow, that's that's awesome. Well, I'm going to give people something new and hopefully something to fire up the audience and get people more passionate about living life to the fullest today.
And Markus told me he's going to share something with you guys that he actually hasn't done before. So stay tuned for that, a new little piece of feedback. But Markus, first things first, right now, what is the most exciting thing right now happening in your business or your life right now?
Oh, Matthew, where do I start? There is so much amazing blessings being poured on me right now. And I don't want to sound like I'm boasting in my blessings, but I got to tell you, God is good. First of all, we are on track for the biggest month we've ever had in business history. We started with by far, the biggest week we've ever had. You know, it's so freaking exciting to watch the growth, Matthew. What we did 2 weeks ago, the first week of October, less than 2 years ago, that would have been an exceptional month. It's so exciting. And what's even more exciting to me than just, growth, sales, awesome. What's so exciting is to watch my team. This team is so hardworking, such great human beings. Every single one of us had to spend at least 15 hours in the warehouse. Every single one of us, myself included, 15 hours in the warehouse. There were that many orders. There was that much to do back there. But more importantly than people went back there to do the work, not once did I see a frowning face. Not once did I see a grumpy attitude. Everybody went back there smiling. We had great music pumping. It was just this attitude that you got to see on people's face of, I love that Magnum is doing this right now. I love being part of something exceptional. And this is Magnum growth. This is what we're all here for. We're all fighting the same battle, and let's do this. And that's just so exciting. For me personally, things have been just amazing with my photo shoots lately. I was in LA last week shooting with Iron Man magazine. Probably the best photos I've ever taken in my life. Just awesome experience. I'm just loving to see what God has got me doing in the gym these days. I'm working out under Jean-Jacques Barrett. JJ is the most amazing coach. He's given me the craziest training plans. He's given me the craziest diet, and I'm 100% in his hands, and he is not letting me down. Like every day I'm blown away to see what my body can do, what my body looks like, how it responds. It's been a fun ride, man.
Well, here's something that I've noticed is, the company's, you've had a pretty productive and one of your most exceptional months you've had ever. Okay.
Yes.
Let's look at you, for example, even though you probably never say this, but, your fitness exposure has exploded in the last few months. You've been a real inspiring role model for your team, the athletes that are part of Magnum, and people in the industry. So let me ask you, since the last interview we did together, which is like 5 months ago to now, what has been the catalyst for you to really stay on track with this goal and stay in epic shape and to keep, moving in that momentum? Because you're doing photo shoots almost every week, man. Videos, photos, you name it.
1 to 2 per week, every week. Yes.
So how are you keeping up with this? Like, how do you keep up with the business and in shape and keep these going?
Matthew, I mean, first of all, again, thank you. I love what I do. I know I say that a lot, and I know some people say that, and it seems like they're straining when they say that. I say that so comfortably. I love what I do, and I love the experience of the human body. I love figuring out what this human body is capable of. And I love trying to test the limits, which I have not found these limits yet. I went through life hearing people's warnings and excuses. You don't want to lift too heavy. You don't want to work out too much. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. You can't go too much this. And it all sunk in for so many years. And the last few years, I'm like, you know what? What if I pretended I never heard any of that stuff? What if I never heard a negative comment about the human body can only blah, blah, blah? And I just threw that out. And it's amazing. Every single day I'm in that gym going, holy smokes, how is my body still doing it? Wow. And just feeding it right, fueling it right with the right supplements. I don't know if you know this, but I have an amazing food sponsor now. It's called Meals Await. Meals Await makes unbelievably perfect food for me. And it's not just about perfect food for me. It's this concept that I can't believe I didn't realize sooner. And if more people gave it a try, they would be just as blown away as me. It's so easy to get better results in the gym if you have the right foods. And to lose weight or to lose fat, I've got these foods that are prepared for me exactly to the specs, to the macros that I need them to be, that JJ says you've got to have them like this. As long as I don't eat cookies with my food, I will get amazing results. So these meals are perfectly prepared, and all I have to do is eat them. So as long as you don't go and eat more than you're supposed to, it's so awesome. And I know people, even myself, I used to think, oh man, who can afford those things? They're so expensive. It's such bull. How much time do you spend making your meals? How much time do you spend shopping for your food? How much money does your food cost? How much does lunch cost when you go to Subway or sushi or any of these other places? And finally, how much is your health worth? You add up those important things, and all of a sudden you hear her prices like at Meals Away, and it's like, oh, that's cheap actually compared to what I thought it would be. And it's so obvious and it's so awesome. So anyway, that's a big change for me. And honestly, for me, that saves me like an hour a day. An hour a day of no food prep, no food shopping, none of this stuff. I've got an extra hour in each of my days. You know how much an hour costs, how much you can get done in an hour. And to someone like me, an hour is so big. So that's a big part of it. But I got off on a real tangent here. Back to, I love what I do, man. I love waking up in the morning. I'm not the guy who wakes up and does his morning cardio with like, I have to wake up and do cardio. I love morning cardio. Do you know the days I don't like? The days I have to stop doing morning cardio, the day off. Those kill me. I'm like cold. My blood flow isn't there. My brain's not as sharp as it should be. And I look at the weights like I'm staring at them crying. Why can't I just lift some weights today? So yeah, that's who I am. And the energy that I get from the gym, from my supplements, from all of it. And by the way, just so you know, I'm stim free right now. This is not Markus loaded up on Limitless and Heat Accelerated. I'm stim free right now, and I feel so freaking good. I get jazzed up. I get fired up from my workouts. The blood is flowing. I'm ready for life, man.
Wow. So when you're stim free, what is your stack? Is your stack Opus then? Opus with Big C and DNA? Like, what's your stack with those stims?
So just to be clear, this is day one, man. I've been on, I think, absolutely every single Magnum product I have been taking for 3 to 4 months. I mean, other than drip dry, which I was just taking for my photo shoots, and that freaking worked so well. But I've just started to taper off of as much as I can. So right now I'm hitting DNA, Opus, High Five, of course the staples that I never come off of, Quattro, Primer, Performance Greens. I'm still on volume for a couple more days, but I got to come off of that too. It's killing me. And I'll probably start taking Big C again in another week or two. But yeah, it's just playing with it, coming off of these things, so that when I come back on, I'm gonna be firing on all cylinders.
So you talked about your food prep has changed, and obviously I want to ask about your routine then, because it sounds like you have one more hour in your day happening. So where has your routine changed from 5 months ago on the first interview to now? What has been some big changes for you to create more productivity? Where is it happening for you?
Oh, Matt, each day I handle each day as it comes. The additional hour, I mean, you know what it's like. It disappears fast. I would guess that extra hour is here at the office, and it gets eaten up by meetings and just figuring out how to grow this bad boy even more. But yeah, it's just been a huge. The biggest differences though in those last 5 months. Working with JJ, working with meals away, and yeah, my physique has just exploded because of those two things.
But how has your routine differed? Because I noticed your photo shoots have increased. Okay, and you're running a business, you got family, you got photo shoots, you got food. Where has that shift? Because people are listening, thinking to themselves, Markus is running a major company. He's he's got these razor sharp abs. How does he do all this and have time?
Okay, Matthew, we're going to skip ahead to something here. This is the big part when you said, tell me something that you've never shared with people. And it's the answer to this question as well, is how do I manage all that? I don't remember who said it, but there was a famous person, and I think it was a preacher, who once said there's 4 big quadrants in life. There's business, there's family, there's health, and there's friends. You can balance between all 4 of them, and you're going to live an average life. If you want to excel at any of them, it's going to come at the cost of others. And unfortunately, for what I want to do with my life, wanting to excel in business and wanting to excel in health, I let the friend quadrant just evaporate completely. I even joke to the people here at Magnum that I hire people that I want to be friends with, because this is probably the only time I'll get to spend with friends, and I won't let that. I won't sacrifice my family for that. So when I'm with my family, I have my family time. That's so key to me, and so yeah, it's a working out and family, and that's all I basically have. And I don't mean to make it sound like it's a lonely existence by any means. I love what I do. I love the people I work with, and that's a big part of it. I think if I didn't love the people here at Magnum, yeah, we'd probably have a different conversation, and I'd be pretty desperate to be hanging out with my friends at night. But the people here are just so awesome, and these are my friends.
How do you balance them out when you're hiring somebody who, you kind of have that dilemma going on? They have great qualities, they seem okay, but you want to, they're a real good friend. So you want to bring them on the company. How do you balance that out as a business owner and a leader in your business where you make the right decision?
Wow. It's an awesome question, Matthew. The truth is I've tried to hire friends in the past, and it has never worked out. The people I hire for all the right reasons, and they have to be the kind of person I want to hang out with. So we can develop a friendship later. And, it's one thing that I think a lot of small businessmen, a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle with, is they want to be good friends with everyone, almost like friends first. And I really want to encourage those entrepreneurs you got to let that go. You got to say, I'm going to be a boss first, and you have to establish that. And it's in what is it? It's not the Art of War. What is it? The Art of shoot. My wife was just reading a book. It's not the Art of War. It's something, the Laws of Power, I think it is. The Laws of Power. And it says, absolutely never hire a friend. A friend will always, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to love the fact that they're working for a friend. They will always be upset about that. You should not be making more money than me. It's a bad situation. In fact, the book says you're better to hire an enemy than a friend.
Wow.
Because an enemy will respect you for bringing them in, whereas a friend never will.
Okay, now when you have that team and you're leading them, here's a question for you. How do you come across when you got to tell them something that is a bit sensitive and it may hurt their feelings? How do you come across in telling them with being direct and being a good leader, but not being too bossy or sounding like you're going to, upset them, or however you want to put that? What's your approach to that process?
So it's another great question, Matthew, and this really does reflect on the last question too. It's how you've set yourself up from the beginning. It's who you've set yourself up as the leader of your company. So people know I'm right in the thick of things here. I'm not the president who shows up and does an hour of work maybe and goes on month-long holidays. I have my hands just as dirty as anybody else here. When we were in the warehouse, I was back there. If anybody had given any lip, or shown a bad attitude, I would have pulled them aside within 5 seconds and said, Matthew, sorry, man, that attitude's not going to fly. I'm back here. I'm having a great time. Everyone else is back here. You're ruining it for everyone. So I've established it right from the get-go that, hey, I'm in the mud here with you. I'm going to put sensitivities aside. If you're going to get, I think I've got a decent approach for that stuff. But the truth is, I tell people right when I'm hiring them, every single person I say, you are walking into an exceptional environment. This is an exceptional company. It's going to be hard to work here. We're looking for the 0.001% of amazing human beings. The chances are you won't make it. If you do make it, you are amazing. I will treat you so well. You are going to make phenomenal money here. You are going to have a better quality of life working here than anywhere else in the world. I promise you that. Will I push you harder than most bosses? Absolutely. Because I want you to be a better version of yourself. You will walk home every night and you'll go and you'll say, I was part of something exceptional. You'll sleep better at night. You will love your partner that much more. You'll treat your children better. Why? Because you're part of something exceptional. You feel important, and you are. And that's what I am. That's the environment I create here.
That was powerful. Oh my gosh, we need that for its whole seminar. I already feel the energy just coming over here. Okay, now going off of that question, okay, what things, you mentioned that you go in the mud and you'll do whatever you have to do to make that, make things go, okay, in the business. But now looking at the president of Magnum, what are the main things you're responsible for there? People probably think to themselves, what does Markus do over there? Like, you mentioned you don't, go in for 1 hour a day, but what exactly do you do? So can you share with me,
Mostly YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, and then people come in, we maybe have lunch. I try my best to stick to big picture stuff. That's where we are with this company now. Is the more time I can spend in big picture stuff, the better it is for Magnum. So what that means is big clients. What can we do to take our big clients to bigger clients? Where can we, what kind of incentives can we create to make those partnerships that much stronger? I love building up my team. So I love working on a one-on-one basis with every one of my team members, trying to make sure they're doing the best at their position and being the best human being they can be. So much more than just, I want you to be a better receptionist. I want you to be a better salesman. I want you to be a better human. I want my staff to go home and have energy from their day, not, oh, I'm so exhausted, this isn't the right position, or whatever makes people tired at night at a normal job. I go home and I'm like, I'm freaking fired up. I kind of want to go back to the office for 4 more hours. So I really love working with my staff, trying to build them up, trying to make sure that we have all the systems in place perfectly. So as we grow, it's just adding more people into this perfectly built system. And I'm not trying to say perfectly built in some sort of a cocky way or prideful way. I just mean it's the perfect system to boost other human beings up as they enter in. And never do I want a single employee in my company that's like just an average employee. We will always hire with the exact same practices. You have to be exceptional. And I tell people, I'm sorry, if you are the wrong person for this spot, if you do not work your butt off, I am forced to get rid of you fast. Why? Because I have more than 15 other people who are counting on me to do that. The minute you start poisoning my batch, the minute you've poisoned my whole company, I have to get rid of you instantly.
Yeah.
And I have to demand that you bring your best you every single day to this job.
Okay, now here's a question. Some entrepreneurs listening to this could, think to themselves, does Markus ever have a rough day? What happens when the employees, are having challenges or there's challenges at the office? How does Markus, always stay positive? So can you tell those entrepreneurs or people out there that are the naysayers that are listening thinking, oh, this isn't possible? I'm like, yeah, it is possible. But can you tell us how you do it and what happens at the office when this stuff does happen?
So I'm going to give you another huge secret. And it's a secret that I've taught every single person who's ever worked with me. You have to come to Magnum to work and think of this like a stage. If you've ever been in theater, you get up on that stage. If you just broke up with your boyfriend, you think you can bring that to your stage? Absolutely not. That audience tonight paid for these exact tickets. They didn't pay to watch you kind of crying under your breath because your boyfriend broke up with you, or someone is sick in your family, or, I don't mean to be insensitive, but no, you do not bring that here. So this is the stage that you have to mentally prepare for. If you need to sit in your car for an extra 3 minutes before you walk in the door and let that go, all right. It's not about faking it through. There's a real difference. It's not about faking it, but it is being on stage. I tell my staff, we go through even the littlest details. When you answer the phone and someone says, how are you? If you ever say, oh, I'm doing okay, you might likely get fired that day. That is an unacceptable answer. Why? Because nobody wants to hear that I'm doing okay, I'm kind of rough. I've got a little bit of a cough today. Nobody cares. Your wife doesn't even care about that. Don't bring that to my customers. My customers want to know you are having the best freaking day of your life today. That's what people want. People want to be passionate about something. They want to talk to people passionate about something. This world is full of people walking through life dead. There's no passion out there anymore. Give people something to believe in. And that's what we do at Magnum. So when you answer the phone, you better be freaking happy to hear from that person. I love that you just called me. That's awesome. How can I brighten your day today? No, this is a little bit of a rough day. It's raining today. But no, we're having a great day.
Okay, 11 years ago, I want to ask you, 11 years ago you start Magnum. Have you always been like this?
I was a version of this.
Okay.
I was coming into my own. I was learning a bit more every day. You talk about, do you ever have bad days? I don't think I've had a bad day in the last 2 to 3 years. And you can go ahead and ask my employees if they've ever seen it happen. And before that, I would say I might have had one bad day every year or every 2 years. So you can see I've been getting better. As the years progressed, just that last part that I just talked to you about passion, it kept sinking into me more and more every single year that people just want something to believe in. They want something, they want someone to follow. They want to hear somebody's voice with some passion, because all day long we listen to people with zero passion. And that is so hard to go through life like that. And I can't go through life like that hiding my passion. For years, I actually realized I was trying to control myself. I was trying to put myself in a cage or a box that I thought society wanted me to be in. And I was like, forget that noise. This is me. I'm freaking nuts. And if you want to say I have crazy eyes when I'm on my crazy motivational videos, yes, I do. There's so much mental insanity behind these eyes that is trying to be unleashed. I'm still taming myself. But people want passion. People want something to follow, something to believe in. And that's what we're giving them at Magnum. Not just at Magnum. That's what I want to give people every single day, that there is something better for you. It's not just, let's not just all fight for money. Oh, money's my goal. Money, money, money. I'll be happier when I'm successful if I have money. That's bull. Money is such a tiny thing. And if money is what you think is going to save you, holy smokes, you got so many other problems there, my friend. But there's so much excitement and success in my life, furthest from which is money. Money is the last thing I'm thinking about when I talk about success. Success to me is waking up every day with loads of energy, a smile on my face, beautiful children who love me, and I love spending time with them, and then me, my wife who loves me, who I get to give a huge kiss to every single night, right when I get home, and I've been dying to see her all day. Success to me is how hard I can push my body twice a day, every single day, and it doesn't fail on me. These are things that I call success. Success is watching people smile when I come into the room because they're like, what is this freaking guy going to do today? That is success to me, and that's something I want to teach people. Everybody can feel. You just have to get rid of the crap that's holding you back, the negativity that's holding you down in your life. Follow the positivity. Enhance the positivity. Be part of the positivity. Let the positivity shine in your life. You only have a certain amount of years. Stop wasting them on crap.
Okay, now is that the secret on why you've never had a bad day in 2.5 years? Because people are going to ask you, how did Markus do it? So what's that how-to strategy?
Absolutely. You know, that's it without question. There's a lot of people will see something negative coming, see a bad thing happen, and focus on that. Soon as you focus on that, you've let that win. You've let that negativity impact your life. I don't do that. I think bad things probably still happen to me, but you know what? I can't help but say every time, God put this thing in my life just to teach me a lesson. So let's go ahead and think about what that lesson is. Did I just get in a car accident? What was God trying to teach me? Slow down? All right. So first, you know what, God, I got into a fender bender, and that probably sucks. You know, I'm going to take 20 hours to figure out ICBC and go to insurance and get this thing fixed. But you know what? God probably did that because if I kept speeding, tomorrow I was going to die in a car crash. So that's freaking awesome. Thanks, God. 20 hours? No problem. Let's do that. So I'm always thinking about where's the positive in it? Where is the positive spin? And I know people listening are going to be like, that sounds freaking nuts, and you can't do that with everything. You can do that with everything. Somebody somewhere along the line told you you can't do that with everything. They were wrong. You can do it with everything.
Now, guys, listening, this is Motivation 101 right there, okay? And I want to say that what you just said, Markus, it sounds like it's a neural program that you've conditioned for years, and you've just basically ingrained that thing in your mind and body and basically your cells so darn strong that even if something comes along, it's just totally deflected.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. And you know what? It's routine. It's practice. It's not going to happen on the first day. You're going to try your best to go, okay, this is not going to bother me, but oh, it's bothering me. You just got to keep pushing, keep trying. Just like the very first time you ever walked in a gym, you didn't bench press 225 pounds. Well, you might have, because I know you're strong as a bull, but I struggled with probably quarters on the ends. And it looked horrible. I'm sure I was shaking, and I did everything I could to put those quarters up. Now I can put those quarters up at least 3 times. Yeah. So it's routine, it's practice, and it just becomes routine, and it becomes second nature, and it becomes natural. And the more you do it, and the more you enjoy it, the more your body's going to say, yeah, I like this. I like this new me better than the old me. And wow, life is so much better. My wife seems to be responding. My kids like me more now. My employees respect me more. Wow, I should just keep being this person. And you do.
Wow. Okay, now here's a question for you. When it comes to, you're a big supporter of anti-bullying.
Yes.
Big
Huge.
supporter. You had a video released by, I believe, Chris Impossible, was it?
Yes.
On anti-bullying. Share a bit about why that's so important to you.
For anyone who knows my story, I went through a really rough time in bullying. And it was mostly 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Those were the ages that I was. I got bullied really hard. I was a real bone rack. I got up to 6'4.5" at 125 pounds. It was all skin and bones, my friend. And because of that, I didn't like who I was. I didn't know who I was. I was trying to be anything but myself. And I made every excuse, and every I let my environment affect me. You know, I even tell people, and now I get to joke about it, but back then, boy, I was not joking about the fact, you know, we were very poor, and all of my clothes were my sister's hand-me-down clothes. That doesn't make you feel too confident as a young dude who was already having problems with bullies. So, you know, I had some really, really rough times with bullies, and it was so much worse than just physical. The psychological effect. To this day, when I see someone being even 1% picked on, oh my goodness, it feels like there's tears welling up inside of me, and I have to step in. And because most people don't even realize when they are being even a little bit of a bully. So I know I'm too far the other way. And if you ask people, they probably say that, like, yeah, he's a little too sensitive when it comes to bullying. Like, he thinks everything's bullying. But you know what? I'd rather be that than to once in a while slip something through and put somebody down unnecessarily. So yeah, I'm a big believer in I want people to know, anybody who's going through a tough time, you can change. You can change your environment. You know, tell your kids it's going to get better. Help them. Get them into Taekwondo. Get them into the gym. Get them better food. Get them anything that's going to help improve their life so that they can get through this ugliness faster and that they have less pain to deal with for the rest of their lives.
What do you think is the number one solution to help bullying in this world?
Oh, man, Matthew, another excellent question, brother. I got to just say, from personal experience, I know the bullying ended the minute I started to love who I was. So to me, a great solution is figuring out who you are. Believe in something. Find passion and love for something. So for me back then, I started hitting the gym. I started hitting the weights. I started hitting supplements. And I started hitting the acting room. I loved the theater. And the theater allowed me to be someone who I wasn't today. And that was so exciting for me because I really didn't like who I was. And it was there that I started to shine. And my acting teacher, Barb Barker, she was just so amazing and so supportive. And she used to pull me aside and say, "You were so amazing today. That's who you should be the rest of your day." And I went, "Oh, there's no rules on that. There are no rules that say I can't be this new person the rest of my day. And, I'll never forget, Matthew, I don't know if you know this part of my story, but when I just turned 16, we went on a family trip. And I went into this new space where nobody knew who I was. And for whatever reason, maybe I saw a movie or something before I went on this trip. I went, nobody knows who I am here. I'm going to decide who I am. I'm gonna show these people a really cool version of me that they are going to like. And that's exactly what happened. I was so, again, without sounding cocky, because, remember, again, I'm 125 pounds, 6'4.5". I didn't have a lot to be cocky about. But I was super cool. I was popular for the first time in my life. People wanted to hang out with me. And, I'll never forget this girl who was way out of my league at the time saying to me, she goes, I can't believe how cool you are. Guys who look like you normally aren't as confident as you are. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like an insult wrapped in a compliment, but I'll take it. And but that really did sum up what the transition there was. And I decided when I came home, I was like, what? Screw whoever people knew beforehand. I am going to be this new person, and that's who I'm going to be for the rest of my life.
But what do you think the world has to do to make anti-bullying or bullying in general go away?
Oh, man. Oof. Wow. That's really tough. Without sharing too much detail, a friend of mine's kid is being bullied right now. And it's the worst kind of bullying I've ever heard. Again, I can't even share with you details. It's the worst kind of bullying I've ever heard. And I don't have a clue how we get around that one problem. And your question is just the bigger answer. How do you avoid these things? The first thing I can think of is much better laws. Much better laws. The anti-bullying laws, they're a small step in the right direction, but they need to be so much more aggressive, so much more, because this situation that my friend is in, the anti-bullying law doesn't do jack. The cops are involved, and the cops are like, well, his parents are out of town right now, so we don't really know who we're supposed to talk to. It's like, F that, take that frickin' little brat and throw that frickin' kid in jail for a month. See how that works out. Yeah. And you know what? I know kids will be kids and stuff, but if you're not being taught at home how to be sensitive to other people and how to not be a bully, hey, maybe the jail system will set you straight. Because if you're going to be a little douche like that when you're 11, 12, 15, 17, it's going to be hard for you to break that cycle. So something needs to break that cycle.
So here's a complete left field question, okay? And it's something that we could go on probably a whole hour conversation on, so I'm going to keep it short. Do you think and believe that the bully needs some psychological support? And do you feel that maybe the bully almost needs more, I'm going to say, they come from broken families, they come from broken homes, that maybe, we're pointing this in a direction that has to be pointed back to, let's help the bully figure themselves out and almost love themselves as well, to realize, like you said, being more sensitive and supportive to other people who don't have the self-confidence. Do you see where I'm going with this, Markus?
Oh, 100%. And there's no question. There's no question you're right, Matthew. I think anyone who comes from a good home, if they were the one causing some bullying issues, I think that good home can set that kid straight real fast. I'll tell you, in my home, which I consider a very good home, if one of my kids was bullying, I am not afraid to throw discipline around. Those kids will be disciplined and they will not be bullies. There is no freaking chance. Whereas I believe you're right that most of these kids come from broken homes or they've got so many psychological problems that need to be fixed. Absolutely. But show me the system that's in place to help these kids. Yeah. It's not there. So in there again, I don't know the exact solution, hire 1,000 psychologists to start working with these kids? Sure. I mean, with the liberals in charge and spending money like nobody's business, they might actually go for that. But unfortunately, I am the one who's paying that tax bill. So I'm very uncomfortable with crazy spends like that. But yeah, I don't have the exact solution.
And you know what? I agree with you. I think the last piece I'm going to mention of this is I do believe that right now the best solution for what I really feel, Markus, and I'll get your input on this, is whether you're being bullied or you are the bully, is seeing someone like yourself or somebody, an athlete who is a really good role model in the world, and seeing and them, be vulnerable, being loving, being supportive, helping other people, helping the homeless. I think that is probably, even though it's not the total solution, probably is one of the better solutions right now that we can think of.
True.
Let's leave it at that, man. So with that, what else would you like to share, Markus, before we close off the interview, before we have to, unfortunately, close things off, man?
Oh, man. I just want to say thank you for having me back on, man. I love being able to share with people. And I love the show, and I love what you stand for, Matthew. I love the positivity you share every day, the professionalism that you show off every single day, man. And holy smokes, you are lifting so freaking heavy right now. Every time I see the weights you're lifting, I'm like, I can't even put that in my hands. That's crazy. Good for you, bro. And I love seeing how hard you're pushing. You've got such great focus. It's going to be a great year for you, bro.
Thanks, you brother. Well, I got to credit Magnum right now because I've been doing a new stack with a thrust. And
nice.
Whenever I go on thrust, tonic, thrust, tonic, what's the third one I go on? Volume. Thank you. The three of those. I see within a week, I'm like, everything just jumps like 5 or 10%. Yes. I'm like, what the heck? What's in this stuff?
No, absolutely. It's so good. Have you done a stack with eBreak yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, buddy. Honestly, eBreak is my fastest acting, fastest transforming product you can try. I tell people, if you have 30 days to change your physique, there is not a legal product on the market that will change your physique more than Magnum eBreak. No fat burner, no diuretic, nothing will alter your physique as much as eBreak. Your strength will go up, your muscles will look tighter and harder. It's an estrogen suppressant. You're going to sleep better at night. Your libido is going to go through the roof. Your abs are going to start coming in better. Everything is noticeable. You start seeing results in less than 7 days.
Wow. Well, I'm going to get a hold of Eric on that one. And you, man. I got to get some eBreak now.
Get honored.
Wow. Markus, thank you very much for the interview, buddy. I just want to say that you were so authentic and vulnerable and real in the interview today, like just sharing information, and I mean like some deep stuff, tips from how you run your business to how you stay in epic shape, and I'm surprised you kept your shirt on. I was like, come on, man. All right. There it is. Close up. Where's the camera? Yeah, light show. El Presidente, Markus, thank you once again, guys. Markus, it's a real pleasure to have you on, man. You're just a treat. You're motivating. You are a true human being, and you come from the heart, man. So thank you, brother. Everything you resonate really means a lot. So it's a true honor to have you. Guys, share the episode, guys, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitter. Check Markus out, hardmagnum.com. And also on about 50 magazine covers right now, maybe even more. He's got one cover every week coming out somewhere in the world. So this guy is just taking it by storm. Guys, thanks again. Markus, it was a pleasure having you on. As always, wishing everybody here an epic day.